Oh, hello. It me, Goblin Welder. There will be no face cam tonight. I'm recording my wife, my other wife, and our dungeon master as we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. There's not much explanation I could give to catch you up on anything because the entire situation's kind of weird. Now, when I unmute the desktop audio, you're going to have your ears blown out by my sir and my lady talking about Doctor Who. So, prepare yourself for the cacophony of sound.
Donna Noble's most annoying episode is during when fucking River comes in for the first time. And it's like, Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved.
See,
Donna Noble has left the
I
library.
cannot look
Donna
at
Noble
the
has been
silence in the
saved.
library and say that's bad because that's an amazing set of episodes. Those
I
two
don't-
episodes, beautiful episodes, especially the second one, which has a lot less of Donna
Yeah,
Noble.
way later. way later when Donna Noble's fucking not there.
No,
But like,
when River dies is like super emotional. It's even more emotional after you go back and go like, yeah, that really hurts now.
that really sucks. But at the time, I hated her because I was like, what do you mean you're the doctor? No, you're not. Rose
River
is
is
with
fucking
this
amazing.
doctor. So,
Objectively, River is amazing, and I will give you that.
but Rose got her
But I can't
happy
hate the
ending.
actress because of that.
Rose got her happy ending with her own David Tennant doctor. So I'm happy. So then River getting with the Matt Smith doctor and beyond that, I was totally chill with. But like,
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
hate anyone the way I hate Clara. Fuck that girl.
yeah, I don't
Fuck
like.
her.
Well, I liked
like
her in the. I liked her in the first episode she was in, and then she got like a permanent character, and I didn't like that after. She was in the Darlick
Yeah, the snowman
prison
episode.
No, the prison episode. I was really into that one. And then after that I wasn't into
Yeah,
it
she
at
got
all.
pissy with the 12th Doctor, and I wasn't up for that. So,
Oh. Well,
like, they made her like the most important fucking thing ever by making her literally part of every timeline that she could see. But
I never
she
saw
still
that
gets
because I didn't watch.
she still gets all butthurt about the fucking Doctor regenerating and being different from the one she knew, and going like, "Oh no, but it's not my Doctor." Look, bitch, you've literally seen him as himself in all of his incarnations, and you want to bitch about the new one? Fuck you.
I was gonna say I can play
Fucking
victim
whore.
advocate. I can play victim advocate on that, but from what you just said, I don't know this. I don't know this companion. If she has seen all the iterations of the Doctor, her
she dropped into
argument
the time
makes
stream. She
no
dropped
sense.
into his time stream, and she shows up at various points in his life from Doctor number 1.
Okay, so yeah, her argument that
so
it's
mad
not
about
my Doctor makes no sense.
I got
If it
so
was
mad.
if it was like a surrogate for the audience being like, "No, my Doctor," I would be
No.
okay, I get it,
They
but
already
no.
did that with Rose anyway. I didn't want to see it again.
Yeah.
Like
Rose was
when
it
9
hurt.
incarnated into 10, she did that whole mess of, well, this isn't my Doctor, but she got used to it, and then she was like, yeah, that hot. Like everybody did.
I don't want to go. Oh, what are you talking about? Did Rose ever meet Matt Smith? Rose didn't meet Matt Smith, did she?
What the fuck?
David Tennant came.
You're off by a number, woman.
You said Rose.
The first season.
Oh,
Yes,
you're talking about. You're talking about
she showed up.
Eccleston.
I'm specifically referring to her response the first time she sees the Doctor Tennant.
I'm fucking up. You're
Yes,
talking
you
about
did.
Eccleston. Thank you.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Because that's a thing that happened, remember?
Yes, you're right.
Because they already did that entire fucking thing of him
regenerating
and her being all, but I don't like him. He's not my Doctor. And then she gets over it and goes, wow, that's hot. And then it's cool.
Excuse me for forgetting fucking Eccleston. He was in one season. Fuck.
And
he's really good though. He's really good though in that one. Okay, so other than the
season's overall pretty fucking good.
Other than the first episode almost turned me off of Doctor Who completely. The first episode is like the plastic episode, bad. But the Dalek episode and the what were they called? I never liked them as much as the Daleks. The fucking cyber fuckers. What was the name? Cybermen, those fuckers. Those two episodes with Eccleston are fucking great, and then when he dies is great. In the Mummy episode, obviously. But no, like he was pretty good. The first episode though, that plastic episode, that was a bad episode. I thought it was a joke.
I mean,
people
when he
told me
grabbed her and said run, and that was it. Like, that was a neat introduction to him.
I know
liked
that. But when people told me to watch Doctor Who and I watched that first episode, I thought it was a joke. That I
But the
didn't even
second
find.
episode immediately makes up for that.
I thought it was like what I had found on YouTube was not Doctor Who. I thought it was a parody because of how bad it looked.
Look,
It
the
was-
I will still say the second episode made up for anything that was bad in the first episode.
Was that the skin episode? The moisturize
Oh,
me?
yes.
Moisturize me.
I loved that episode.
Good episode. Yeah, that was that was
See?
interesting.
Anyway, I'm sorry we've been yelling about Doctor Who, even though there's been no actual Doctor Who for a minute.
We should marathon that shit because I haven't watched any
There's
of
so
Peter.
much to marathon.
I haven't watched any of Peter Capaldi or the new female Doctor. The female
Sucks.
Doctor because I totally skipped Peter Capaldi. Like I said, fuck it, I'm not watching him. I don't like him.
I
But
like him as the Doctor, but he there was so much with Clara, and I dislike her strongly, so it's hard to get over that.
Jodie Whittaker sucks as the Doctor.
I haven't actually watched any of her.
She does.
episodes.
She's
I legitimately haven't.
So every Doctor has been its own kind of character, and like I'm not saying this from the aspect of like, oh,
okay,
it's not
I'll
my
be
Doctor.
real. Let's be fucking real. David Tennant and Matt Smith are really fucking similar.
They're
Period.
similar.
They're
similar.
They're so similar.
They're
It's like
similar,
Matt Smith didn't
but
even
Matt
try to
Smith
do
is
something
way
different.
more awkward. That's the thing.
No,
he turned the awkward
no,
up.
No, it's only Matt Smith is only awkward because he has a bow tie on.
No.
Like he is the same.
His Doctor is awkward as
fucking-
fuck, and the fact that he pulls down as much tail as he does, he pulls fucking River. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's hot.
That is the amazing part about him. He
Yeah,
is
and
awkward as fuck though.
He's not though. He's just as awkward as Matt Smith
He is faking it till he makes it.
The
That
only
is all
difference
what fucking 11 does.
No, the only difference in the two of them, and that's why I love them both, is the clothes and the hair. That's it.
I object.
Matt Smith
That
is
is
far more awkward than 10. He's also far more even-tempered than 10 for the majority of his run.
10 is angry, but if we're gonna talk about who's the most angry Doctor, if not talking about Peter Capaldi, because I know he's pretty angry, it was Eccleston. Eccleston was pretty angry.
Well, yeah, because he's playing right off of the fucking War Doctor and shit.
Yeah,
then
he was
you might
mad.
You might like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but I feel like she's trying too hard to be Matt Smith and David Tennant, as opposed to like
I think
being her own
I think I
voice.
would prefer a return to that because I don't like Peter Capaldi at all.
I
hate
Peter Capaldi replaced Tennant as my favorite Doctor.
I don't believe you. But granted, I haven't seen him, so I can't really say I hate him. But like,
I think what
his
I like
intro video, I hated. I hated it.
And so
I also
now when I say he replaced 10 for me, I'm not just saying, oh, I've been watching since 9. No, I've been a fan of Doctor Who since like campy fucking syndication reruns they would put on PBS as a child.
Now, granted,
so
I haven't
know
seen
ancient
the old
Doctor
episodes.
Who too.
Yeah, I haven't seen the old episodes because I couldn't find them, but I could try to find them.
I have some.
But everybody always points to the fucking Scarf Doctor as their favorite. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but,
that's my dad's favorite.
Yeah. The first Doctor is a real dickhead.
Oh yeah.
From what I've heard.
Honestly,
he's a misogynistic asshole.
He's
one
a
of
real
the things I really liked about Capaldi's Doctor is he feels like he's a mix between old school Doctor Who and the new school Doctor Who.
I think I don't like,
but he's got the style of the old ones.
I think
I
don't
really liked that. I thought it worked out well for him.
I'm gonna be real fucking shallow. I think I don't like Capaldi's Doctor because I can't simp for him without it being creepy. Yeah, I can't. But
yeah,
also,
but he finally looks his age.
But I also I don't like him also because he was in the fucking Pompeii episode, and then he became a dog. I'm like, no.
Continuity can still work out. Tammy Wimey bullshit.
I don't like it. Well, I can, but even then, I'm being a fucking hypocrite because Amy was in that same episode.
Yep.
Yeah, she was.
That same episode. So, but like, Amy's not the Doctor, so I don't care.
Timey wimey bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Anyway, Ashley, how are you today?
Oh, I'm fine.
You're just listening to us scream about Doctor Who for no reason.
It's interesting because I think I've seen all of 2 or 3, and one of them was the Moisturize Me episode. Actually.
Moisturize me.
That is the second episode of 9's 1-season run.
which is unfortunate. He had to die. It sucks he only got one season, but he had to die after one season because they had.
He didn't want to do another season.
No, even if they had convinced him, I think he would have only gotten one season because they had to explain the regeneration thing.
No, they didn't.
He was only going to get one season. Yes, they did. There were a lot of people that went into Doctor Who knew not shit about the previous Doctor Who.
That was actually the purpose of it. It was meant to be just a complete relaunch. You don't have to watch any of the early Doctor Who.
Exactly. That's why
you
I
get a lot
said
of cool extra stuff, but you didn't need.
He was always gonna die after season 1 because they had to explain the regen thing. It didn't matter if he wanted to do a season 2 or not. There was no way he was ever going to get one.
Everything I understood from his interviews, he didn't particularly want to do another one. He wanted to do more stuff than just be the Doctor.
No, he wanted to do a more dramatic roles, I think is what he said. But yeah. What's more dramatic than getting mad at Daleks? I fucking love that episode.
I mean, obviously he didn't stick around long enough to be like the dramatic bitch that is Matt Smith.
Matt Smith's pretty dramatic.
Homeboy did some dramatic shit.
But David Tennant's still bae. David Tennant and his pinstripe
If I had to tell you which one I wanted to bang more, that's still a hard question.
David Tennant. There's no question. It's David Tennant.
There is a question for me because especially in the 50th anniversary episode when 10 and 11 are playing together. Oh my god, it's so cool.
No,
I loved it so much.
If we gotta choose between Eccleston, Matt Smith, and fucking David Tennant wins all the fucking way.
If we're only looking at looks, yes.
If brown and
voice and attitude as well, I have to give Matt Smith some fucking credit here because
yes, he's got a quirk about him, but David Tennant is just
I have a thing for awkward people.
Too good. Too good. Matt Smith. No, not Matt Smith. David Tennant. David Tennant is yummy.
See?
Oh, wow,
no.
In your mind now.
No, it's David Tennant all the way. David Tennant is.
There's psychology in this, isn't there?
Not only that, even David Tennant and even David Tennant in fucking Good Omens is fucking bangable, and he's getting old. So like, even now he's getting old as shit, and I still fuck the guy. Like, yeah.
Well, age is no object. I still say Sir Patrick Stewart is hot.
Oof.
Sir Patrick Stewart,
Fight
like
me.
fucking
Fight me.
Picard?
No, there is no fight, or I won't fight you. Shit.
Picard?
Yes.
He
still looks like that like 30 years later.
I know.
Want to bang the immortal man.
I know he's not gay, but the way he acts with the actor who is in Magneto, like I just see him as very gay.
Oh, they have the best romance in the world.
Very gay.
I love the two of them together. He is absolutely unashamedly gay, but
I wouldn't want to take him away from fucking Magneto. I would never want to do that to anybody.
Yeah, but he has a wife.
Actually, I'll take that back.
She's really nice too.
I might not fuck David Tennant, and the only reason that being is because I am more attached to Rose and David Tennant than I am to Matt Smith and River.
See? Now you No, wait, hold up. Wait, stop. Wait.
I would rather break up a relationship between Matt Smith and River than I would rather break up a relationship between David Tennant and Rose.
River's song is Banff. No, if I break them up, I'm going for River. Fuck you.
No, River's no, fuck you. I'm not gonna fuck River.
River or 11,
nope.
I'm going for River because it'll be dangerous. It'll be short.
It'll be a fucking joint. It'll be a joint effort. You go after River, I get Matt Smith, and then we have a good old fun time.
Okay.
But if I have to break up David Tennant with Rose to be with David Tennant, I'm not gonna do it because it would hurt my heart too much.
I mean, we already did that. That's why we split up, and she got like the clone boy.
No, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Like the show literally did exactly that.
I wasn't okay with it then, but I got over it. I got over River because of that.
Hey, remember that one time that the Doctor left Rose on a beach? It was just said, "Hey Rose, I blank."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did not finish. Fuck you.
Let's just
now that I've morally broken the possum, let's go.
let's go.
Also, I found my character sheets for both Kylos and Fearsome Possum. They were behind my desk. I was not even close with my stats when I redid them. I
Well,
did
it's a
get
good thing
the
you ran away yesterday.
I
Well,
did
you
get
didn't die, so good job.
Well, here's the thing. I did get my HP correct. It was 69, and I did get my -1 in intelligence right. Everything else was wrong.
Was it better or worse?
Worse. It was worse.
I can live with that. You were handicapped.
Yeah,
There
it
you
was
go,
worse.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So let's just recap here, unless any of y'all have been taking notes.
No.
Got it.
Nope, I'm
My
not
head's
gonna lie
full
to
of what
you.
happened yesterday.
I'm not gonna-
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I was just curious. Anyhow, so last time on D&D, let's see. So the guard came back in after their breakfast. Brings along the man named Jake from the estate farm.
I'm never
And
gonna get over that.
Jake, sorry. And then so because Jake was suddenly made available to help keep you guys company until the head mage was ultimately able to see you guys. Finding out it may still be a day or more for details, the guard suggests you go speak with the guard captain for, I don't know, an art job that the city was getting ready to look into, but resources being what the fuck is that?
That is an
Did-
interesting note.
Did you just say that
no,
about your
sorry.
own notes?
Uno momento, por favor. I gotta mute myself because I got a notification on my phone that says iTunes charged us $50. Hang on.
What? Nandayo.
So in the meantime, I want to bang
Doctor
River.
Who? Doctor. Fuck. I may bang River in an alternate universe, but if it was between Matt Smith and River, fuck River. Fuck River. Because
If it's between Matt Smith and River, I'm
if
going
it's
for River.
no, if it's between Matt Smith and River, out of the two, I'd rather fuck Amy. I'd
Nope,
rather
I'm still going for River. River is
nah,
number one in that whole group.
I would rather fuck Amy, and I would rather fuck
Okay.
Rory before fucking
Problem
River.
resolved.
Only if you can have them both at the same time, because I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. Probably
However, I
during
would
the
still take River over that.
no.
Yes, we are allowed
No.
to continue now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Problem resolved. My bad.
I
Just got
forget how to
myself-
rogue. I need my player's handbook.
Okay. Anywho, so suggested going to talk to the guard captain for an odd job the city was getting ready to look into, but resources are limited because they're trying to see the extent, if any, of the magical anomaly within their own city. So one of the mills along the river outside the city had been lacking in reports and personnel. So they would like someone to go and investigate pretty much why it was happening and report back. So y'all make your way out there, you find the mill, and it looks extremely trashed on the upper floor, but the main floor is pretty deserted.
We found tracks, didn't we?
Yes. Hang on. So Possum jumps out of the window, and you got -5 damage because you decided to just jump out the window instead of going back down the stairs.
Yeah.
And
It's on
then
an alley.
Oh, no, there was no alley.
Oh no,
that
it's
one.
my character sheet shows I have an alley, so I
But
believe that.
whenever y'all were in town for the morning, you did go out into the alley, but you didn't take any damage or fall like early enough in the morning before everyone else.
Oh no. I mean, I fell out the window and got hurt, and I said yes. My character sheet shows I had an owie.
Oh,
Yeah,
owie!
not
I
an
heard an
owie.
owie. My bad.
Yeah, I heard the
An
same
owie.
thing.
Okay, yes, you took an owie, and so Rabbit finds tracks outside and decides to lead along the way, the path that she found. Bunch of disturbed patches of grass and ground. Come to a clearing. You found a small group of folks that were bound and beaten, kind of towards the edge from the direction in which you were coming. But then you noticed that in the center there were the 3 gnolls. You managed to defeat the gnolls. Possum almost died, but Ravelin, being the kind person that she is with her new friends, managed to cast Cure Wounds and revive you effectively.
Yay! I didn't die. Thanks, man.
And then, so then ultimately, you're able to, get the people riled up. Tell them to head back to the city, and then Jake helps lead you guys, and the civilians back to Frecklands and then you'll give your report to the guard captain. Jake stays behind, and you two are dismissed basically with, well, you are given another 3 nights in town and meal and board, essentially.
yucky.
Y'all are
The
back at the
clean
Hatchling Inn,
city.
since that's the place you were staying at before.
Yeah.
Clean city again.
What are we waiting for this time? Are we looking for
ult-
another job or
No, we're
n-
waiting for Jake from Estate
the
Farm
estate farm?
to
Yes.
get back to us.
Yeah, you're waiting for basically anything in addition, since y'all were sent back like, ah, well, that was it for today, and y'all can have the evening to yourselves, and y'all had like dinner and a rest. So
Okay.
now it is morning the following day, and it is pretty much the two of you in this inn. What are y'all doing?
Well, since Ravwin saved the fearsome possum's life, the fearsome
We're
possum
best friends now, clearly.
goes to you and says, "You are a fierce warrior. I owe you a life debt."
Oh. Okay. Blank, no idea what the fuck that means.
Yeah,
Fearsome possum stays close to Ravwin until the life debt is paid.
Would you like to get some breakfast, Mr. the Possum?
Probably eggs. Eggs sounds good. Eggs. They have
Okay,
eggs.
we'll go. The eggs were really good.
Yeah.
Are the eggs always this good?
Eggs are usually always good. It's like out of character. The eggs to the out of character. Eggs to fearsome possum are like pizza. There is always pizza, which is good, and better pizza, but never bad pizza. So eggs are always good.
I guess we're gonna sit down and start eating eggs or something.
Is there pizza in Faerun or wherever we are?
Or some equivalent thereof.
You'd have to go elsewhere, but not necessarily the approximation of pizza. There is like a nice.
Oh god, the fearsome possum is gonna fucking lose his mind when he learns what pizza is.
Mr. the Possum, what's your favorite kind of food?
Eggs and apples. Apples are pretty good. Yeah, smack on apples. Yeah.
I'm glad you get so much of the things you like. You're a good person.
Aw. Fearsome possum blushes and scurries and hides, but still sees you in his peripheral because he has a life debt and he can't let you die. He can't.
She's gonna treat him like a pet now.
Oh god.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah,
You're the sidekick now.
Well, I am the one that the life debt is owed to.
So what happens after that? Fearsome Possum is in some corner somewhere. Oh, are we doing camera?
Well, I am.
I can do camera. I don't have my pretty makeup on like I wanted.
I never have makeup. I'm
You're
always
always
naked.
pretty.
Where?
But like, not.
Hello.
I don't know if you guys saw, because I think I only did one
nice
TikTok
cup.
with my makeup on.
I have this.
I did.
Think.
What? Bad dragon. Yeah. Not here. Let me show you guys. I did one TikTok with like my makeup. I did like a lipstick on the top lip only, and I had Shigo vibes, and I was vibing for like all day. I was happy.
It was really hot.
I got a hacked Pokemon from a trainer named Shiki.
What?
Top lip lipstick is super hot. I'm gonna.
I do a lot of surprise trades whenever I'm on my main Pokemons because I like seeing what I get in the world, and I get a lot of hacked Pokemon actually.
Dude,
but it's cool because I always get a Master Ball off of them.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do?
How do y'all do that?
Are you doing Wonder?
Are you trading any of that?
You gotta have
I just have Pokemon, and one of the options after you connect to the internet is surprise trade, and it's right under link trade. You just hit surprise trade, choose a random Pokemon you want to send out into the world, and it'll just find another random person to do it with who did the same thing, and you get a random fucking Pokemon. Sometimes it's really cool. Most of the time, it's terrible.
It's awful, and it's just like Wonder Trade. The only difference is you have to have a Nintendo account, so you have to be linked to the internet and have a Nintendo account.
You have to have the online for that one to work. Well, you technically you don't, but that would require someone to be local to you, also doing locally surprise trade, which just isn't gonna happen. Honestly, maybe
online
if you
with
went
my
to a
Pokemon,
convention
so.
and everybody did surprise trades inside of the convention,
So
then it would work
hey,
out. But
hey,
otherwise.
since you love surprise trades so much, you should do a Nuzlocke where after every gym battle you beat, you have to trade off one of the winning team for a
No,
surprise
because
trade.
if I did that, I would have to have my Nintendo account attached to that one. And fuck you, I like my main account, and I am not getting rid of it.
You would love it. It
I'm
would be
not paying
wonderful.
for a Nintendo online account just so I can Wonder Trade from a Nuzlocke.
You guys have me
I'm
on
not.
camera, and I almost want to just go put my makeup on because I feel gross. But yeah.
Well then, silly person, we still love you.
Okay.
Alright then.
Continue, please.
So
I'm sorry we keep going off.
Yes. This is
okay,
Distractions and Dragons.
So you okay, so you gave him a compliment, you blushed and basically scurried to a corner, but kept him in your vision.
I'm being stared at a lot
Yes.
by my new pet.
Don't call me that.
She would never.
Well.
She would never. But she does have an affinity for wild animals, so.
Oh my god.
And you are acting like a skittish ass wild animal at the moment, so.
When I'm in public during the day, yeah, that's what he does. He's fucking
when
crazy.
y'all are like, there's
I am a druid.
ridiculously low amount of people in this inn.
No, it's the middle of the day and people can see me. I'm gonna be skittish.
It's the breakfast. It's not the middle of the day. It's the
if
beginning
it's
of the day.
the dark of night and no one knows I'm coming, I'm confident as fuck. Just not right now.
Alright, well. So, both of you, can you roll perception checks for me?
Yes, I can do that.
Sure. Let me move my stuff. Ooh.
I got wow, I'm
Nice.
actually good. I got a modified 20. Modified 20. Oh.
I'm not gonna get a 20, but I have to find a D20 first.
I got a modified 20.
Also important, yes.
Grab a handful of dice. Is one of them a 20? No.
Wow.
Grab another handful. Is one of them a 20? Yes. Shit! No! Don't go that way.
Could probably not do that either.
Your dice went the wrong direction.
Ugh, they did. It rolled down my arm and not down the tower.
Intriguing.
Okay. Just perception, right? Do I have anything in that? Ooh, I do. So that is going to be 23.
Alrighty then. So
I perceive.
I see the things.
I perceive. I can fight. Sorry.
So y'all are down there munching on your eggs, like jibber jabbering or whatever. Then you give him a compliment, and he blushes and scurries off. Not too far.
So my eggs.
But you notice that there are only a very small handful, maybe like 3 or 4 other individuals in here. There's one in particular who looks awfully familiar. Over the corner, kind of probably closer to the hearth, slightly shadowed.
Well, that's weird because I don't know anyone here. I literally don't know anyone except for like the 3 or 4 people I've already been introduced to.
The guy who looks familiar, is it Jake from Estate Farm?
No, Jake is not there. But he kind of looks an awful lot like that Sev dude that had to go scurry away in the middle of the night not long ago.
Oh my.
So the other superhero.
I guess we both noticed this roughly at the same time. Was he there the whole time?
We all were munching on your eggs, yes.
Holy shit.
But
since your conversation was broken,
the fearsome possum is gonna watch him from his hiding spot, but he's not gonna approach.
I'm reasonably sneaky.
So I guess
shadowed corner. But
are you? Hold on. If you're wait, hold on. Are you also playing him?
So as I notice, I'm gonna look up and go like, Mr. Sevatorian, is that you?
I'm gonna look up from my day drinking.
He's gonna look very happy to see you.
Oh, you're still alive.
Yes, we fought very hard yesterday. Mr. the Possum almost died, but I saved him.
I heard.
So, what were you doing?
Miscellaneous grunt work for the local guards.
If you're back here, does that mean you're going to be with us again?
The Jake fellow that you all adventured with looked for me and said, "I can't stand it, sir. Please take them back."
Oh no, we scared him away.
I like Jake. No.
She's gonna look a little sad at that, actually.
Oh God! Does the fearsome possum hear their conversation?
She doesn't know what she did wrong.
Okay, roll
do you
for.
look
Well,
distraught?
did you go over to talk to Seth?
I was
definitely
still in
looks
the
distraught.
corner. I'm
You
still in
went
the
over to talk?
corner. No, I'm still in the corner, but I'm listening profusely. Do I hear what they said?
Sev will pat your head. I assure you, you are not the primary.
Did he have a different cause? Was he hurt?
Oh,
was it because I healed the possum instead of him? I'm so sorry, but the Mr. Possum was...
No. Calm down, child.
She's gonna go like...
The possum is a bit much. Most people.
Do I hear this conversation?
Hear what?
Do I hear them say these mean things about me?
Well, if she went over to talk to him and they're
I'm not
like
saying anything mean. I'm saying you could be a bit much for most people. Does the possum dispute that maybe he might exude a presence that may be a bit much for the normal person?
Ooh.
Superhero life is lonely. The fearsome possum is crying in his small corner while he eats eggs.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's...
I wish I could have said goodbye to him. He was very nice to us.
Damn it.
Duty calls, as they say, I suppose.
But I'm glad to see you again. You were very nice to us, too.
You've given me no reason. Where is the possum? I have something.
Oh, he's over there. Mr. the Possum!
Hold on. I'm rolling a...
Yes.
Fuck you. I'm rolling
Libertarian's
No,
here.
fuck you. I'm rolling a stealth check to see if you guys can even find me.
I knew where you were already.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you were
did.
staying within peripherals. Well, at least your
I said
peripherals.
I
I
could-
watched you go away when I complimented you and you blushed and like hid in the corner. I knew where you were.
She was
I'm
actively watching you run. Yes.
Fine. I'm fucking hiding from Cemeterian. I didn't do well.
I have a 15 to percent.
I got a 10.
Yeah, totally.
Robin's
I'm
a little concerned, and she's gonna get up and like go closer to the possum, and slowly, the way you do with like a skittish like pet or something. And she's gonna kind of like angle around on the other side to kind of block off the escapes that she can see.
Huh.
She's gonna be like, "It's okay. He says he has a present for you. It might be some pretty trash.
Ooh.
Maybe you could have something new for your cloak. It's a very nice cloak, but what if it could be better?"
The fearsome possum approaches cautiously.
Who are you approaching, me or Sev?
Sev, I guess.
Taking note of the fearsome possum, I will reach around my belt loop and I will pull up a small sack and offer it to the fearsome possum.
I grab it. No, look at it. What's in there?
Half-eaten apple cores, pieces of rubbish.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh fuck yeah! The fearsome possum attaches the sack to the sack to his belt, and just goes, "Thank you."
You're welcome. The town is rather clean, but if you look hard enough, you could find little bits every now and again rolling around.
Yeah, nothing is ever truly clean, right?
This took me the better part of a day, however. Joy. Whatever it is you...
I will cherish it. I will cherish.
Bravo's gonna come up behind him and kind of pat him a little bit and say yeah.
He does not. No, he does not take kindly to the pats. No pats. He literally like goes this to you and he goes, no pats.
Would you prefer mushrooms?
No. I prefer no pats. Thank you.
Well, okay. I'll try to find you something shiny later.
Shiny is good. I like shiny. Anyway.
Alrighty. And then
hi.
about
Look,
that.
he came up on my lap. Looky.
Oh, I also have Tiny Dog. She is in her little cave thing, staying warm.
He gives me kisses.
Let's see.
Adorable.
Oh, so small and cute. Weasels.
Cat snap.
First Mwah. Goodbye.
Alright, so as you guys, I guess, are starting to, since you've gathered back up and everything, the guard that came in from, that's basically the lead of the escort group, essentially, that y'all have been conversing with off and on for the past couple of days now. He comes, he kind of comes in through the door, like looking around, spots y'all in the corner, and is like, okay, there you are, and like comes straight over to you, like, how did your evening go?
The
It went
fearsome
very well.
possum lets them do the talking.
This town is very nice, very clean.
Thank you. We work hard to, keep our reputation up.
You have a reputation for being clean?
Yes.
The fearsome possum snickers at that. I don't like this.
He looks at you like, okay, and then like,
Dismissed crazy person.
there's no subtlety about it. He just like looks at you for a second and then like,
Without filth, how am I supposed to utilize my +7 to stealth? I can't. No, I'm kidding.
like, glad you enjoy the town. I take it you got some much needed rest, and I'm glad y'all have been reunited with your friend here.
Yes.
Remembers the betrayal of Jake from a state farm. Feels a pain in my chest.
Are you saying anything about it, or that's just your general?
No, that's just that's an inner log.
Inner monologue.
The inner dialogue.
Yeah, fucking fearsome possum is not so crazy that he says out loud his inner monologue. Yet.
Not yet.
Yet.
So get him some psychedelic mushrooms and we are on a roll.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm sure you could whip some up in a hurry.
Hey, I do spores.
You do. The guard's like, oh, alrighty then. So, unfortunately, like he's kind of like mildly uncomfortable at the same time. He's very formal and like still like trying to do his job. Unfortunately, the head mage is still unavailable as they're getting some conflicting reports from the same district. It seems like other people are giving different information for the same location. So we have to go now investigate that. So, since he is still busy trying to narrow down what's truth and what's not with his people, we have to either we can go back over to the guard captain and see if there's anything else, because y'all so swiftly handled the mill with the gnolls, which we very much appreciate, and like extend guard captain was extremely happy with your work. We're quick and efficient. We appreciate that.
The fearsome possum puffs his chest out a little bit, like, yeah, I'm obviously a superhero. Obviously, I handled it efficiently.
We could never have done it without Mr. Jake.
From a state farm. Who's
Jake,
not here. Who's not here.
Jake was happy to be a part of the affair. But unfortunately, he wished to return to his normal duties. A little too much excitement for him. He's not very people-y individual.
I just blink slowly at that statement.
Anywho, but he did not have any. He was not hurt or harmed. It is not the reason why he is gone. If that's what you were worried about.
Well, as long as he's okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Some people just that's why he works where he works for now. So
in HR.
SHR will be dealing with him shortly.
Okay.
Anywho, so if y'all would like, y'all could talk to the guard captain, or we can. Y'all do have free reign in the city. Of note, the northwestern quadrant is still rather off limits because there's still some rather official duties and affairs going on over in that quadrant. It's small, so but it's clearly labeled, so please do not enter without express permission. And please adhere to the general rules, which is basically, we are a clean city, so ergo, rule breaking is handled very strictly and swiftly. So don't leaving garbage. Always take care of things of yourself. Be cordial to one another. We understand people might not like each other, but you still must not be outright impulsive towards one another, because angry acts are handled at a different level. So if you would like free reign, you may do so, or you can wander the grounds outside of the city. Although I don't know why someone would want to do that. This is such a perfectly fine city.
Volunteer as tribute.
Volunteer as tribute.
We can explore?
The city, yes, as long as you, like I said, don't do anything
There's
to
almost
impugn.
actual stars in her eyes because she's very excited at the concept of being able to explore a city. She's never been in one of those before.
So you're interested. So was there anything you two specifically like to ask or request, or if y'all are interested also in exploring with the young lady?
What do you do at a city?
Where is your garbage collection?
Garbage collection is a restricted group of individuals in which you are not permitted to go associate or do anything with.
Fearsome Possum turns around and curses.
All right. For what you do in a city, to the original question, you get to explore, experience the fine. Let's see, there are a lot of little bakeries and shops and some sort of lovely little tea spots just around the corner here. As a matter of fact, it's a good one. They do have a good Earl Grey and jasmine. We import them.
There's nothing but question marks over her head right now.
Why is that one area out of area? But not allowed.
Why is that one area out of area?
I do not.
Well, yes, you said there was a restricted area before.
Forbidden, apparently.
He's asking
the
why.
Northwest Quadrant has official duties, is what he was explaining before. As to the garbage collectors, they're a very specific group of people that come and take the stuff versus. Yeah, so you can't associate or do anything with those folks. He didn't really say anything about the area unless you're trying to ask that.
I do like to help people, but I've also never been in a city like this.
I don't know, unless you talk to some of the shopkeepers or something. I don't know what they would like help with, or if you want to help, again, there's the guard captain might have something. Maybe in town if you specifically request it, maybe an issue that might need to be resolved, or an issue outside of town if y'all don't want to remain inside too much of the day. It's just a lovely day outside, no sunshine so far.
I'd like to see this world.
World? The city or the town? What specific?
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never
kind of
knew.
All right.
It's very different from my home. I'd like to see it.
Well, there are many opportunities and places outside of the city that you can reach and visit via different means. So I'm sure whenever y'all find out what y'all need to while you're here, there'll be many opportunities waiting for you. Unfortunately, some methods do cost a little bit of coin.
Oh, right, currency.
Yes.
Or
currency.
Wares if you have coin.
Lacking? I mean, we are giving you room and board for the deeds that you have done for us, but are you also lacking in currency? A lot of you.
I don't know. Is this a lot? And she kind of holds up her all of 2 gold coins that she's got.
How do you have 2 gold coins? I have 41.
I have this. Is that a lot?
Did we get
Depends.
paid for what we did before?
Varies depending upon what you are trying to get. In some cases, yes. In other cases, no.
Oh.
So it varies depending on what it is you are trying to acquire and or do.
That's like the argument is for a lot in money. No, in murders, yes.
Yes.
Well,
God.
we don't really use coins back home, so no, I don't have a lot of these. Actually, I've never had any of these before.
The fearsome possum sees your abysmal amount of coin and hands you 10.
Oh, thank you. They're very shiny. It's not like you to give up something so shiny.
I think you need it more than I do.
Thank you. Seriously, I really did only have 2 gold coins.
Shit!
I didn't roll well when it came to getting money at the beginning, okay? I had to nickel and dime myself to figure out my fucking equipment. Give me a minute. I really am kind of broke. It fits my background, but I really am kind of broke.
I bought a lot of shit and still had 41 gold.
No, I had to be careful with what I was buying. I think in total to buy anything I had like 20 gold to start or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Druids apparently are not rich people.
Not at all.
Well, these things happen.
Alright, well, the fearsome possum wants to go talk to the guardsman, but it's up to, his compadres what we do.
Well, the guard's still standing here right now, so are you trying to ask another question, or I'd like to
Well,
speak to him
not the
alone?
guardsman, the guy who you said we could get a job from.
Oh, the captain.
Yes.
You're trying to get actually paid, not just with the room and board?
I'm trying to fight crime.
You may be out of luck. Not a whole lot of that going around. My wanderings.
Superhero is not of any use if not fighting crime. Am I right? Am I right? He's like doing this to the guardsman.
Actual confusion on Rava's face. Because she still doesn't actually know what a superhero is.
The fearsome possum, obviously.
You've explained this many times, but
still doesn't explain
at all.
What a superhero is.
And Savatorian, obviously, because he's also a superhero. He wears a mask.
Mr. Savatorian is a superhero like you?
Yeah, I mean, didn't you see his mask? He had it, the skull thing he wore. Obviously, he's a superhero. Yeah.
I'm going to look at the fearsome possum and nod. However, when I turn to Ravawin, I'm gonna like try to dictate with my eyes. No, that's not true.
Do I see this dictating of no?
No, it's with my eyes. So now this
I
is
don't give a shit. You gotta fucking stealth that crap. I'm gonna perceive you.
I have to stealth to turn my head away from you to look at Ravawin after nodding at you.
I can perceive.
Deception, maybe? Or,
yeah, it's
no,
perception, but I'm not gonna stealth. But I'm gonna perform.
Fine, I'll
there you
insight.
go.
I'll
that makes
insight
sense.
then.
Performance, yes.
You just gave me my better stat. Thank you. I've got good insight.
That's fine. I have a net 20, which is good because that's a 19.
I got an 18. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, so you did not see this.
Fuck you.
Eye movement.
So eye motion.
What does Ravawin think of said interaction?
A bit of confusion, definitely, because I think she understands. She's got pretty good intelligence.
Okay.
She understands what he's saying, but she doesn't quite know what to make of that.
Intelligence is not my dump stat, actually, for once. It's strength.
And I have wisdom out the fucking wazoo.
Yes.
I'm okay at intelligence. So I can usually pick up what's going down, but I might not be sure what the fuck that actually means.
Ravelan should be the, master of common sense.
Yeah, but that assumes that I have common sense common to the rest of the world.
That's the problem.
Well, the guard gentleman will be kind of like, okay, well, I will leave y'all to your decision. Would y'all need to be shown the way back to the guard captain, or y'all want to figure it out on your own?
I believe we can manage.
Mr. Savatorian won't let it lead us astray.
All right, I will leave you folks to it. I expect we will meet again on the morrow, probably about this same time, and here, most likely, because this is where your room and board is being given.
Yeah.
And Keep has been very accommodating with the city.
Thank you.
Same possum time, same possum place.
Right.
I don't
well,
know
if you
what a
need
possum time is.
This time, right now.
If you need to specifically find me for any reason.
What's your name?
Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Bernard.
Bernard the captain?
Yes.
Bernard.
Oh, no. The guard that's been like the escort lead.
Bernard the Mr. Helpful Guardsman.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Bernard, like he's been like the escort lead person.
I'm writing down Bernard, my favorite escort, minus Jake, a State Farm.
I just like the pun from that, because that's the commercials.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
I will find.
Damn, Ashley, you're not even bothering with a fucking cup. You're just like, nope, fucking
Oh,
bottle.
these things are so small. Like this regular bottle is so tiny.
It's the size of your forearm. That's not small.
I think so. One of these is easy. It's just the 1.5 liters. I do half, maybe a smidge more than half, and it's fine.
Lady fucking Hurst. I'm gonna knife hand to the camera. We're all in the fucking Navy. Shut your fucking mouth. We all know the struggle.
I just have flashbacks of going to Italy and watching the Marines deep throat like 5 of those bottles and fucking dying for 2 hours on the way back. It was awful. I can't do it.
Do you know how many of these fucking specialty margaritas that fucking Norma made me before I even came here? I had 4, and now I'm on this.
No, we went on a wine tour in Italy, which normally I would have said that's fucking amazing. But on our way back, like, the last thing you do before you leave the wine place is like you get the opportunity to buy all the fucking wine.
Mm-hmm.
These dumbasses like bought wine and then realized they couldn't take it on the ship because they weren't old enough to keep it legally on the boat. So they just fucking drank all of it right there in the parking lot. This was with a 2-hour drive to go back through those windy, up and down, all over the fucking place Italian tiny roads.
Wait, you were there. Bad. Wait, what? Oh, that was the time you went back with Bree and they were throwing up on the bus.
Fuck that noise. No.
You told me about that.
It was really bad.
I was
2 hours of that shit. Awful. Anyway, continue.
Okay then. Well, Bernard.
Bernard.
Yes. I don't know why for some reason that's like my default name, and all I can think about is the dude who's from fucking Tim Allen's Santa Claus. You know,
wait,
Tim
what?
Allen, like the first when he plays
Bernard? What's that from? I know it. No, it's definitely from the Santa Claus movie. But who's Bernard?
Yeah, he's the lead.
Bernard's the lead elf.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like my default name for
the first Bernard I thought of is that's the name of the dude that Megamind takes over and pretends to be for most of the movie.
Oh, that's right.
Bernard.
Let's be fucking real though. Bernard's hot.
That's a new good one. Okay.
Bernard is hot, and Bernard is good looking.
I'm concerned because I don't know which Bernard you're talking about right now.
I'm talking about the Megamind one.
Okay. I mean, if you like the other Bernard, it's fine. He's like 1,200 years old.
No. No.
Yeah.
His hat's too poofy. His hat's too poofy.
No, he didn't really have a hat most of the well, he has
he has a poofy hat most of the movie. And he didn't show up in the other Santa Claus movies. He was in one movie.
We are so easily distracted today. I'm so sorry, Ashley.
I'm not.
It's okay. Anyway, so we are. Alright, so he leaves. What is y'all's decision? Like, if y'all want to, amongst yourselves, figure out what you would like to do. Either, on a parting note, I guess he's like, well, if you decide to go talk to the guard captain, like I said, he can give you jobs for some coins, since apparently that is a new thing for you. Currency is much needed to acquire certain items and transportation, amongst other things, when you're out in a city, let alone the wilderness, young lady. So
you can't just make it?
Ashley, can I buy a bag of beans in your campaign?
Say no. Just say no and save yourself the trouble.
Can I buy a bag of beans?
The fact that you are obsessed with getting a hold of specifically a bag of beans makes any DM, such as me, that has been around for a while go, no, because you have nefarious and awful things planned for it.
My other campaign will let me get a bag of beans.
That does not also...
That other campaign doesn't know you as well.
Yeah. Based on how you've been also playing this character, a bag of beans would not be something that he would be trying to acquire unless they were spoiled.
The three of us know you.
Do you know what a bag of beans is?
Yeah, you posted the link. I'm still not giving you a bag of beans anytime soon.
It's like wild magic in a bag.
You've got your
Ooh,
fucking
but
puppy.
again,
Be happy
your
with that.
character doesn't seem to really do any magical stuff because he's trying to be a superhero. Like
That's
basically
why
like
I
Batman
want
with
a
no money.
bag of beans.
How does that explain Kylos? You want a bag of beans there, and you're nothing but magic.
No. Okay, so Fearsome Possum wants a bag of beans because it's something I could put on my utility belt. It's something I just throw like a fucking smoke grenade.
I'm just gonna make you psychedelic mushrooms, and you're gonna eat them, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's normal now."
That sounds good.
Maybe it'll make him act normal.
No.
He'll remember his backstory while he's on the psychedelics.
If you're gonna put some random backstory on me that I'm a normal dude named John, I am not okay.
John would be.
Hey, John.
Yes. Hey John, what's up, man? I'm like, hey.
Oh my God!
You're John
I am
from that city
John
at
from
that
that
place.
other campaign that he always calls a dick.
Okay, so
moving on. Yes.
Robowin really wants to explore because, as previously stated, she's never been in a city of like literally any kind, clean or not. So she's very excited to see the world. That's what she wants to do. That's why she was happy to be able to be, chosen to go do her thing,
The Fearsome Possum will follow, but has been in cities before. Usually slums cities. Will follow behind and make sure she doesn't get fucketed. Because
stop them for a moment. Allow me to gather my effects.
Okay.
Go upstairs and
no hesitation on
get
that.
my shit on.
Fearsome Possum waits.
I will come down, bespoke in my armor and such.
Yeah, it's a superhero costume that I was talking about before.
Are superheroes normal in other parts of the world?
Obviously.
It depends on where in your definition.
I've never seen a superhero on my island.
That's unfortunate. Your island must be in disarray.
Monsters. I've seen a lot of swamp monsters.
Exactly. Your fucking island sounds like it's in disarray. You need some superheroes up in that bitch.
She looks genuinely hurt now. That actually hurt her feelings.
You said swamp monster.
Like, there's like an actual tear in her eye, like, oh, you just hurt my island. It's the only thing I know. Oh.
The Fearsome Possum doesn't understand social cues enough to understand that I hurt her feelings.
So where is it you wish to go, Miss Robowin?
To know when there is. So you know. Okay, that is actually like ridiculously confusing. You understand enough social cues in order to be able to tell when there's like evil afoot, but you don't understand social cues.
Yeah, evil is evil. Evil is black and white. Fucking social cues are like abstract and like you have to fucking read into them.
There are certain social cues that a robber portrays when they're getting ready to steal something.
That's different because I've trained myself to look for those. I haven't trained for people to look upset.
Okay, I was just curious how you were gonna. Okay.
Well, I've heard that there's marketplaces full of all kinds of things. Do you think they'd have one of those here?
I am quite sure that they do. However, the problem is they need currency. That's the problem with towns. And they have decided that these shiny coins that you are the means of barter.
Why don't they just make things and pass them?
Well, because not everybody is fully capable of making things, but they are capable of services. Such as yesterday when you and Jake and the possum dealt with the gnolls. Not everybody can fight gnolls. So, in exchange, they use the coins.
But we didn't get coins for that.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't get coins for that.
Room and board. Yeah.
You were paid in being able to stay here and get a meal without having to pay, which is a normal circumstance.
People pay to stay here?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why it's better to just stay in trash.
That never even occurred to her. Like, that's clearly a new concept, and they're like, what?
The purpose of inns.
See, here's the thing, though. If you find the right dumpster, you can get the right amount of insulation to not freeze to death, and it's fucking perfect.
As somebody who has slept in alleys and dumpster, I would much prefer the.
You've also slept in a dumpster. There's a certain prestige to a dumpster.
Well, the bed is nice, but I honestly, I never slept in a bed before I came here.
It's going to be a whole new world of experiences.
A whole new world.
It really is. Well, what should we do then? If we need more of these shiny coin things, she's gonna like have one of the gold coins in her hand, like, this thing has so much more power than I thought it did.
So here's the thing. I don't normally stay in the inns, but like normal people, not superheroes. They do the manual labor for the coin. I normally just kick villains' asses and just sleep in dumpsters.
I don't think I'm a superhero, but I've never used that before either.
So yeah, you're supposed to like, from what I understand, you do the labor, and you get the coin.
Oh.
To buy things to sleep in the nice hotels, but dumpsters are just as good. Dumpsters.
The rule of the land here is you do things, and people give you these shiny coins, and then you give them back the shiny coins to live?
Yes, you exert your body for less than its value, and they give you less than that to sleep in inns. To sleep.
Then
and buy things.
Then we should do something to get more of these coins?
That is often the lifelong pursuit side of where you're from.
Things would be much simpler for everyone if they all just followed the way.
The possum is interested in the way. What do you mean?
It is the way.
What was the way? What is the way? The way of the superhero?
No.
What is the way?
I don't think the superheroes have a place in the way.
I assume I'm gonna like look at her, because based on my background, she lives in a more idealistic version of kind of what I dealt with. I'm going to guess that the way involves the following of certain principles, a certain communal belief of everybody does what they're told and does their share, and that's good enough for everyone.
Well, sort of. More like, if everyone follows the way, then the cataclysm can't occur again.
Fuck is a cataclysm?
The tradition of my people is that the cataclysm was a giant... my master called it a explosion of magic a long time ago that broke the world apart. People did too much and used too much magic, and I think the word he used was hedonistic, but I'm not really sure what that actually means.
Very dark, so kind of cool. One of my favorite settings.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
But if everyone follows the way, you give what you can and take what you need, and everyone will be happy again.
And am I right in assuming that those who stray from the way where you're from suffer exile or some other form of punishment?
Well, yes.
Wait, hold on. Does that mean you strayed from the way? Why are you here?
Oh, I was chosen.
To stray from the way?
No. The elders decided that, well, it's been a long time since the cataclysm, and we should find out how the rest of the world is faring and see if the rest of the world is ready for the way.
Add a character.
That's
You're
what
doing
I was chosen to do.
Hold on. Add a character. You're doing the Amish thing?
I'm an Amish cultist.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I want to see everything.
Okay.
It also sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I love my island, but it's very small, you know?
Yeah, like the world's bigger than one small place. That'd be real. I do miss that one city I used to like be in before this crazy shit happened.
Were the
Had a
people
lot
of your
more
home
dumps.
happy?
I mean, they seemed happy, and there was bad people, but like you stop the bad people and you sleep at dumpsters, and it's a good day. Yeah, it's a good.
But if you just get rid of the bad people, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I was working on it.
How exactly were you getting rid of the bad?
You know, you like you go in the night and you like, I am the fucking terror that sleeps in your nightmares, and then you jump on them and you kick their ass, and then they go to jail, and then they're not on the street anymore. You win.
I don't know what this jail thing is, but if you just
You
toss
win.
them off the side of the island, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Wait, hold on. How do you
She's
toss?
not deadpan, like,
No,
this is totally normal.
that's a murder. I don't. As much as I believe in criminal punishment, the fucking like capital punishment with the deathness is not okay. That's not okay. That's not...
Apparently,
But
at some point, I hit a crossroad. 3 roads. And if I'd picked the wrong one, I would have ended up as either of you.
Nah.
She blinks because she's not quite sure what to make of that.
So hold on. We have someone who is naive and knows nothing of the world, but is totally chill with capital punishment, and one person who's crazy off his ass but doesn't do capital punishment. Ooh-wee, Batman. Okay.
What can I say? Cults. Wowie.
What can I say except you're welcome?
welcome.
Savage-
Toss them off. What can I say except you're welcome?
Despite what Savatarian said, like when you mentioned like you just throw them off the island and it's not a problem anymore, he doesn't seem at all bothered by that.
Like that to her is
Unfazed.
the natural reaction because she's like, that's what you do, right? You do.
No,
There's no need to hold them. You
that
just toss them off.
So the only one actively at the table
There is
comparison
no.
is Possum.
Huh? Yeah, the only
one-
person.
Yeah.
I have a reaction.
The way is good, but the way is dark.
No, the reaction I have is there is no justice in any of that. What if they're innocent? You just throw them off the side of the island. You just killed a person.
If you are exiled, you're not innocent.
Do you prove without a shadow of a doubt that they're not innocent?
Of course.
With what? Do you have a trial or something?
The elders.
Are they?
The elders make the decision, and we follow it. Because the
And-
elders can't be wrong.
They can't be wrong ever.
No, they're the elders.
That seems ridiculous. To the crazy person, that seems ridiculous.
More common than you think.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. And he's just like away from a little
And
bit.
Now you know you owe a life debt to a cultist.
Yeah, but you might be better than the elders. You're not the one that sentenced them to death, as far as he knows.
She's not an elder.
Yeah, exactly. Your elders are kind of shit, though. Your elders.
Yeah, she doesn't make that decision,
shit,
but
no.
it's not her place to do so because it's not her place in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yep.
It is not her place to question or make that decision at
I
all.
maybe I can show you
Makes
a different
sense.
way. The way of garbage and trash.
Garbage and trash has its place in the way.
What?
It's all a cycle. We
What?
make, we throw, it decays, and from that grows life again.
That's a life cycle.
Beautiful.
That has nothing to do with trash.
But that's how you get those things.
She is from more of a naturalistic race. So when they toss things, it's all organic that does rot.
No, yeah, recycling is totally chill and everything, but what you said, like
Is that
like
what you call
fucking
it?
certain things don't rot. Like metals don't rot. You gotta reuse.
I don't think they much have that.
She looks at her staff for a minute and goes like,
holds my dagger up to my face, like that doesn't rot. That doesn't.
no, but we don't use that. It's not on our island.
Possum's having a small panic attack. Like, what the fuck are you talking?
They have no metal on there.
How the fuck do they do anything? Need metal?
You can accomplish quite a lot with a sharpened stone or a stick.
I live. He like looks at his dagger. He's like, I live by this blade. How can I do anything without it? Like,
There are many
fuck
like
that.
it, but this one is mine.
This one's
I've lived all
mine.
I've lived all my life
Hold
without
on.
one of those.
This and my 4 other daggers I have on me are mine.
Mr. the Fearsome Possum, I've lived all my life without those things.
Did you
Just
actually
fine.
say I'm nothing without this blade?
Yeah, I said that for my. I'm nothing without my 4 blades. I have 4 daggers
Well, if you're nothing with your blades,
and 2 short swords actually.
if you're nothing without your blades, then nothing with them.
Ooh.
But she kind of perks up at that because that sounds like one of those weird
Sounds
things
like
her
the
master
way.
used to say.
My brain
Like,
just
it
went.
sounds
My
familiar,
brain
like,
just went
ooh.
dead. I don't know if I want to punch you or if I just want to fucking leave. Like,
We can touch more on the way at a later date. You live a fascinating life, Rob.
Well, thank you.
What is it that you wish to do? Where shall we head? What do you wish to
Well-
learn about?
Everything. These cities are strange. The way they live is so odd. They know each other, but they don't know each other.
it's better that way.
It's a form of communal living, much like where you're from. Although I imagine that the people of the way, if you will, is a much smaller, tight-knit group, all things considered. How many people live amongst you in your home?
Well, I don't know. I never thought to count.
I mean, you should know them all, right? You just said you knew them all.
Yes, we are all our family.
So I assume under 300, maybe.
I guess.
Because that's about small boy life. Small boy life's about 300. You know everybody on board.
355
Yeah,
on a cruiser, on average.
yeah.
We are all part of the family, so of course we know each other.
Well, this is a more loose interpretation of that family. It's many more people, thousands in many cases, that band together for the express purpose of building things. This inn that we're in, and aiding each
Oh.
other by using the coins as a form of barter. It's an accepted form of barter, is all.
Like the House of the Mothers.
Possum is confused again.
Elaborate.
Oh, those are the ones who make the babies. And the
Oh,
babies
they
all grow together.
What?
have selective breeding. How interesting.
What the fuck? Hold on. You're like, so the
That's cultist
crazy
society.
man, the crazy man is like, you have corporal punishment and you do the eugenics. What?
I
I'm
don't know what
amazed you know
eugenics
that
is.
word.
I am not uneducated, sir.
But wait, you don't know who you are, other than the possum, right?
I am the fearsome possum. Doesn't mean I'm retarded. Like shit.
I don't know what that word means either.
Intellectually inept, not of proper intelligence. And
That's the mean way of saying that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would a smart person like I'm a superhero. Superheroes are like that, like they're people who are good, a bond good and good being. Why wouldn't I be smart? Just because I'm awkward. Shit. He goes, he like scurry. He's like, meh.
so what is it you wish to do?
I guess you don't have a House of the Mothers then, huh?
No,
That sounds weird. It sounds eugenics-ish.
breeding.
I don't like that. I don't like
Breeding in the world outside of your island is sometimes it is selective. There are people who have more coin than others will often arrange breedings more or less through marriage. Do you have a form of marriage, lifelong coupling between two beings?
That's some disgusting shit is what that is.
Nope, only the mothers.
Well, we have that, and some of the people who have more of the coins will often do what your Den of Mothers does. They will selectively breed to create the most noble of children, for lack of a better term.
This conversation in particular makes the fearsome possum very fucking angsty. I do not like this at all.
Then there is the way that the people with less coin often do things, where the breedings happen sometimes planned and sometimes very unplanned between two beings who feel a very strong emotional connection to.
We're not. Hold on. Hey, no, this should not become a sex ed class. We're not talking about the birds and the bees right now.
I'm not discussing the full act.
I know what sex is.
See, I don't.
God, fuck.
I'm discussing. I'm discussing
Like,
how it happens.
I know what
here.
that is.
We're just like discussing how the process differs, which is not necessarily detailed. So.
And then the last way is often just completely accidental with no emotional feeling. I am actually a product of such a thing.
Huh. Getting emotions involved in that would seem to cause a lot of trouble.
The fearsome possum is like zoning out for the rest of this conversation.
Well, if we can't go to the markets because I don't have enough of this shiny thing, and there's no Den of Mothers, what else do you do in cities?
I mean, you could
Should
definitely
we just get more of the shiny things?
Here's the thing: you can get more of the shiny things, or you could definitely still go to the market. It's called window shopping, where you just look at shit and wish you had it, and then walk away.
Why not look at things and then make it yourself?
If you have the means, by all means.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Can we do that then?
Certainly.
Yeah, we could do the window shopping.
Okay. And she's happy. Because she's just very excited to be able to go out. None of that conversation bothered her in the least.
So, while I was doing, like, miscellaneous patrols with guards, would I have, like, an okay understanding of, like, the layout of the city at this point?
You'd have a good, general, like, even after only a day, it's a fairly predictable standard
city blocks
scale.
and...
Yeah, it's just a slightly larger scale than traditional, based on
I will
how
lead
neat and orderly they are.
I will lead the group to the markets.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. How are you just walking with them this time, or are you trying to
behind?
Well, yeah, I'm like darting about like I normally do. I'm like shadow to shadow. Yeah.
God, I'm one.
As the possum is as the
Have
possum
you
is
seen this face?
darting around, I'm like not keeping actual like tracks, so I'm not gonna like make her roll like a sneak or anything. I don't actually care. I'm just gonna be talking to the possum loudly enough for the possum to hear me.
Yes.
So tell me, we've learned a bit of our friend Ravelin. Why possums? Why did you choose a possum to be your identity?
Because they're the ideal being. Like they don't get rabies. They hail in trash. They're good for the environment. Like they're good all over things.
Why do
They're
you call it an identity?
Fuck you! He goes and he fucking like darts off into a corner.
Actual confusion, like what? I'm confused. Legitimate confusion.
He darts into a corner. He avoids that question.
What is?
Why would it? Huh?
What is your origin? Every great hero in story has an origin story.
I am the fearsome possum. I've always solved crime in the city I was in before this happening, and that's it. I'm the fearsome possum, and that's all you need to know.
And
fearsome possum.
How long have you been doing your crime fighting?
Like what? 10 years? 10 years probably. 10 years. As far as back I can remember. I am the fearsome possum. Nothing else.
As far back as you can remember? Is there a time you don't remember?
I remember about 10 years, and I've always been the fearsome possum, and I will always fight crime as the fearsome possum. Yes.
Mr. Sabbatarian, he's older than 10, right?
If I had to guess, he's probably about 40.
Is that old?
Depends on where you're from.
Why you gotta be hurtful like that and call me old? Like,
For instance, where I'm originally from, for a long time, people of my birth didn't much make it to 20.
oh fuck, I'm an old human.
That's
if
very
you-
young.
If that's what you're basing it on.
She's, like,
However, I
thinking
know
back-
that there are people in other islands that can make it to the 80s. I've heard tell of beings that can live into the hundreds of years.
Oh, I'm over 100.
Case in point.
Aren't you like a half elf or
Mhm.
elf?
Actual elf.
You're an elf, okay.
What else?
That
Yes.
makes sense.
Not a half elf, actual elf.
So she
Nah.
young elf.
No, the fearsome possum's like 40. Yeah.
I can tell you for the average human I know of, the fearsome possum is about middle-aged. He's almost reached about half of what most humans live in their lives. For him to only remember 10 years is a bit concerning.
On my island, 10 years is practically a babe in arms.
We humans tend to age at a much faster rate than those of your.
Oh, but at 10 years is when you're chosen. That's important.
If by chosen you mean became a superhero, then yes, I am a superhero, and I've always been the fearsome possum, and I'll always be the fearsome possum.
Does that mean you were supposed to be something else before?
Random
I-
passerby are looking at you guys with all kinds of weird
Oh, we're-
facial
Like
I
I
look
said,
at
we're
one of them and I
walking.
say, "Hey, what are you looking at?" I hiss at them. I hiss at them.
Mr. the Possum, that's not very nice. I don't think they liked that.
It's a private conversation. They can mind their own goddamn business.
It's not exactly a private conversation when you keep darting between mailboxes and lampposts like, frankly, a crazy person when we're trying to hold a conversation with you. We have to
It's not
talk rather
crazy.
loudly so
It
everyone
is
can hear
not
us.
crazy. It is keeping awareness of my whereabouts. Thank you very much.
It is very different from how everyone else here is acting.
Well, good for them.
I am very aware of my surroundings. I don't have to.
Well, good for you. I don't think you do it as well then. I don't think you.
Oh,
That's rude.
Perhaps you just haven't reached this stage of being a hero then.
Negative. I am a
Oh.
hero. I am the best hero. I am.
Well, if you're only 10 years old, that means you're still learning. So maybe you have a lot to learn from Mr. Sabbatarian.
No.
You're older than 10, right?
Yes. You said you'd been fighting crime in your home city for 10 years?
Yeah.
What is the crime like there at that point? How effective were your methods?
Surely you've eradicated all the crime there. After 10 whole years?
You can never eradicate all crime. Like,
Oh,
it happens on an individual level, obviously. Like, you got petty theft, murder.
I must
like-
disagree with you there, Mr. Possum. Very possible to eradicate all crime. My mentor managed to eradicate all crime within his kingdom in the 7 years that I had worked under him.
Through what? Authoritarianism?
No, there were trials. There were
Uh.
jails. There was punishment. There were courts.
Pretending
Yeah.
like she knows what all of these words actually mean, because courts and things are just like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just accept that and keep going.
probably you would, I think, understand, right? Because some wouldn't have to be seen before, like a sort of like council. I guess it'd be more of a
There's
council
no
for
courts
this
on my
trial.
island.
Well, hold on. You're
Perhaps-
Right, no,
saying
well, not
through.
court, but I
you're
mean,
saying
like,
through
the
your
dis-
uncle. The uncle did it through other people, right? Like the fearsome possum is a lone person.
I know, that's where we're going to get into here in a second. Perhaps the problem is you're not mentoring or mobilizing other like-minded. My mentor gathered myself and, for lack of a better term, my brothers. That is why we adorned these, and I'll like hold up my helmet with the skull face and everything. We adorned these faces of fear, as if you will. You are the possum that tries to strike fear in crime, yes?
No, I just stop it. No.
And there's
But
no
if it's still there
fear.
after 10 years,
If there's no fear of the possum, then what are they afraid of? Merely getting punched and thrown into jail? Hoping that the courts deal with them?
That's all that needs to be done. I catch the thieves, I catch the wrongdoers, and they go to jail. That's all that matters.
How many of the wrongdoers were released after you put them in jail by your court system? The courts are corrupt.
Not many, actually.
Not many, but many men that you knew were guilty walked. Is that justice? Is that fair?
It's not my place to say. It's the court's place to say.
And why is it the court's place to say?
Can the court be wrong?
Yes, obviously the court is fallible, but it's still justice. You can't have one person dictating the justice of an entire city.
If they're wrong, then it's clearly not justice.
No.
Justice should be the same altogether, shouldn't it? If it's not the same, then what's the point?
Justice should be the same across the board, yes. However, it is the judgment amongst the peer group who judges them. One who puts them in jail is different than the people who judge them whether they're guilty or not.
I have a question for you then.
You make things harder for yourself by not just tossing them over the side of the islands.
I don't agree with this.
I have a question for you. What is your place in that? Now, and I'm not speaking in that you are the person bringing them into justice. Were you officially appointed by these courts, by these law enforcement officers? Are you acting with the blessing of the city?
No.
Then the people did not give you the power to capture these people, did they?
No, but if you provide them evidence, then obviously they're wrongdoing.
Oh no, we're trying to tear down the possum's whole worldview. Oh,
so
no.
You worked outside of the law in an effort to enforce the law. That sounds...
enforced bad things happening to people who didn't deserve it.
Ashley, side note, are we in the market now?
I think so.
Y'all are just about there, but again, you're still getting a ridiculous number of like.
She's involved in this conversation, but the moment that Ravawin sees like the actual marketplace of shiny whatever the fuck is going on over there, she's gonna get immediately distracted because holy shit, look at all that cool stuff that I've never seen before.
Ew.
Shiny. I think at that the conversation's gonna drop.
Yeah. We'll put a pin in this, I suppose.
The possum is
going
no
oh my
longer.
God, look at that.
Yeah, no longer paying attention.
Look at this.
He's like,
look at that.
New things. Cool. We're doing new things now.
To me.
She's fascinated by a blacksmith that she found because oh my God, there's
He's
all
banging
this
hot
metal they were
metal.
talking about.
Yeah, metal.
Can you make this? Holding up a coin. No.
Legal. Are you sure? But it looks like that, doesn't it? Is this not made of the same stuff?
A coin?
No. There's a completely different alloy. Not my wheelhouse.
Not the same.
She kind of like hits the coin against like the wood, and then she like picks up one of the random daggers that's there and like kind of hits it on the wood. And she's like, kind of looks the same.
Okay, like the possum tried. He's like the possum tries.
Like,
The possum tries.
I'm gonna take the knife out of Robin's hand and place it back on the table.
The possum points to his dagger. He's like,
and I'm gonna mouth not from around here.
This is different, and he points to a golden coin. Is different than this. Believe it or not.
Wait,
this
different metals too? How do you keep this separate?
He points to the gold coin. He's like, literally, this is actually a softer metal than this, and he points back to his dagger.
It sure doesn't feel soft.
Tell me, Robin, how many trees do you have on your island?
Oh, very many.
Could you name all the different kinds?
I'm not sure. I think I could. I've spent all of my life among them.
But aren't they all wood? Do you see the difference now? Do you see?
Well, their roots certainly do go together.
Yeah, but they're different types of wood.
Naturally.
So
it's the same with metal.
I'm pretty sure I know most of them.
It's the same with metal. It's the same with...
I was still learning when I left home.
The most... I will give you just a quick crash course. I'll like pull out some of my coins. The primary metals that you'll be dealing with out here are iron, and I'll point to the dagger on the table. Copper, and I'll pull out a copper coin. This is the lowest denomination of the the metals that are used in bartering. Then we have silver.
There we go. Its value, it's less, yes.
We have silver, which is worth more. And then we have the gold coin that you have. This is generally accepted as the highest accepted denominator.
Oh.
The general math is that 10 of these, and I'll point to a copper, is one of these, and I'll point to the silver. And 10 of these, pointing at the silver, equals one of those, pointing at her gold piece.
So people have decided on these values and exchanged them based on that?
Yes.
Oh. So that's what they always did at the docks. I wondered.
And then the other metal that you'll likely encounter is called steel. It's a form of iron that's been mixed with coal, charcoal, something with a carbon to make it higher density.
Don't forget mithril. That shit's dope.
Would the possum even know what mithril is?
Yes, he does.
Do all of these things come from nature?
Yes, actually, it is found within rock.
Within rocks?
Do you have caves on your island?
Some, yes. It's good for when the rainy seasons come.
Well, in some caves, for instance, where I'm from, we have caves rich in iron deposits. So we were fairly wealthy when my mentor took over, and we established trade routes. Because we had this iron that people used to make tools, weapons, armor, and I'll like knock on my armor. And it comes in caves, and when you walk into the cave, if you have a very bright torch or some kind of lantern, if you hit the rock just the right way, you can see streaks of a different color within the rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from there that you use pickaxes or hammers, other similar tools to break out those pieces of rock. Then you heat...
Actual rapt attention over here. She's like fascinated by this.
Then you heat these rocks in a very, very hot fire. Hotter than
that? Salvatorian's a human, right?
Yes.
Fearsome Possum leans over and says, I just recommend you go talk to a dwarf. They can explain all this garbage to you.
What are dwarves?
Very short humanoids, very hairy.
Yes.
Excellent drinkers, as I understand it.
The world is very large.
Quite. And it's only going to get larger.
Oh boy.
So we're in the market. What do we see?
I mean, Bravo's like spotted the blacksmith and was absolutely fascinated by that, so went like immediately there. But I don't know what else is there.
So the main entryway is mainly taken up by the blacksmith shop, because he has his outdoor like forge part and stuff like that, and where he has some display of weapons, and of course there's like the actual little shop that has like other smaller deals like daggers and like some other various like small items that can be tucked away, made of iron and or more expensive metal. As you go further along, then you'll find like there is a little jewelry shop, fairly next to the blacksmith shop. There's a bakery across from the jewelry, and then there is some other like little knickknacks and like someone selling goods and produce and things of that nature for also along these like a farmer's market type style as you go further along the street.
Yeah, the Fearsome Possum doesn't believe he has the coin to buy anything useful, so he's gonna not buy anything.
I mean, Brava doesn't know what values really are yet, so she's really just like, oh my gosh, look at all this cool stuff that I've never fucking seen. Jesus.
What do you mean they wear something other than burlap?
And leather.
There are some like a couple of like seamstress type things, like just a little the farmer's market type area.
Boy.
And of course like some other, and then like as you get closer to what could be perceived as like leading towards like a docks area, you got someone selling like various fishing gear and nets and supplies. And
is there anything like an apothecary?
Yes, actually right after the nets and the fishing gear.
She's gonna look at that and and look like very closely at the kinds of herbs and things that they have in the windows and such. Or does he have a window? Is he like a stall?
Yeah, that one is like a windowed shop. Yes, because
okay.
You know, the types of like either like potions.
She's
and, like,
definitely gonna be looking at those
on
displays a lot. Because this is definitely more her wheelhouse.
I know what that is.
Exactly. Like, I know that stuff. That stuff is... Yeah, I got that. That I get. I make potions like that. But yeah, if no one stops her, she's just gonna keep wandering around and staring at things, so...
I'm just gonna be following behind Ravelwin. Sure, there'll be more questions that I have to explain about the world.
No, we need to cash that so I can put it back in savings.
Well, no, it's gotta pay off the card.
I already paid off the card.
Okay.
So, wait. People sell these? And she's like pointing at the potions and stuff?
Yes.
Oh. That's what I do.
Perhaps you have another way to make money.
You might be able to sell your stuff to the apothecary.
Is Ravelin just a nicer Skylar?
Kinda, yeah.
A more naive
very
and
nice,
nicer
not at
Skylar.
all vain kind of Skylar. Which is really not Skylar at all, honestly.
Quite the opposite.
Like, you know how if Skylar was actually more like Lisa? Kind of like that.
I see.
Damn.
That's right. I said it.
I miss Skylar. I miss Skylar.
I wonder if he also goes out into the woods to find all of his plants.
It's possible, but places like this, they often trade in those metal coins and have people go do that for them.
But how can you ensure the quality if you don't go find the ingredients yourself?
In many cases, training, and then there's when the person comes in to sell them the herbs, the fungus, whatever else is used in these, the alchemist, as they're called, will determine a value based on the quality. And then they will determine what the value is amongst themselves.
Or you just get a crap product. Fierce Opossum says under his breath.
What do you mean?
Fierce Opossum didn't intend for anybody to hear that, so he's just like, I just said sometimes it's just a crap product. Sometimes people just swindle people for fucking nothing. And he just looks to off to the distance. He's like, okay, I'm done with the conversation.
For nothing? Isn't that a crime?
Yes, in many cases it is. In some cases it's just seen as somebody being seen as stupid.
So
the Fearsome Possum. When you say that,
wrong.
When you say is that a crime, the Fearsome Possum's teeth grit a little bit.
But that sounds wrong.
It does sound wrong. But the thing about what is a crime, as you have likely now learned, it varies from place to place. A crime where you're from is not a crime here. A crime where the possum's from may not be a crime here. A crime here may not be a crime where you're from. Laws are rather fluid based on borders. It's all about who's in charge at the time. They make the rules.
Huh. Well, Mr. the Possum, what if you were in charge of your island, then there would be no crime because it would be all justice, wouldn't it?
I think so.
What about you, Mr. Savatorian? Is it peaceful where you're from now?
Applesauce and some goldfish.
It was peaceful for a time, and then my mentor left me woefully ill-equipped to maintain the peace. He was rather cross when I had lost control of the situation. That's why I am here, more or less. I, like your people, was banished. I'll like pull off my gauntlet, and that's what this is. In my culture.
She wasn't banished.
Well, I'm using that. I'm not saying she was banished. I'm using the example of they banish people from her island. This is a This is a sign from my island of traitors and fools. Your hands are permanently stained in red. I'll put my gloves back on.
Oh. That is a permanent solution, isn't it?
In a way, so if I ever return to my lands and people see my hands, they know that I had done something wrong in the eyes of the ruler.
Maybe the way could have stopped that. She looks a little sad because she doesn't want to think her friend is like capable of something that would in her head like force someone to be banished from their home, you know?
If you wish to discuss that at a later date, I'd be more than happy to, but it is not a happy tale to be telling out in public streets.
Alright. So, do you want to do anything else with the apothecary, or you were just asking the questions in general?
I was just asking the questions in general. I don't think I'm going to be able to buy anything today.
Not for 13 gold, you ain't.
I mean, you could buy a bunch of miscellaneous small stuff.
Thank you for giving me more gold than I have, but I actually have 12 gold.
Okay, 12 gold then.
And like, miscellaneous trinkets, like stuff from the town, or like that.
She doesn't know what to ask for.
Well, I mean, yeah. Are y'all gonna keep exploring, or?
I want to look for the captain of the guard. I want a job.
Well, then, would you like to talk
She's going to be quieter now because she's got a lot to think about.
The fearsome possum's gonna be like, all right, well, I think we should go to the captain of the guard. I think he can help us with maybe some crime fighting, maybe something to do. Maybe.
Okay.
I will commence to leading the party to the garrison, if you will, to find the captain.
Thoughtful walking. It's a lot to think about, a lot to learn.
Digesting, yes, so to speak. Alright, so y'all make your way, as everyone's like thinking rather like, what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Not severely, like thinking rather like seriously about what, like events and
contemplating.
Contemplating about what's going on and like how, as like for you, everyone, how the world works instead of just like, on his business, helping show you all the way. Possum, I'm assuming, is darting around. Yes,
yeah, I'm darting around. I'm doing what I do.
So y'all make it to the garrison, and then like just to the side of the garrison is where like a nicer. Again, this building is nicer than some of the other ones around it. Inside, they see you and they assume automatically that must be here for the guard captain, so they lead you to his office. And the door's shut, so the guard's like, pokes his head in there. Someone say something?
I said, "Oh."
Oh, sorry. So they knock on the door, poke their head in there. You hear some like hush talking for a second, and then he opens the door. He's like, "All right, the captain will see you now," and like walks away.
Did we ever get the captain's name?
No.
The captain.
He's guard
just
captain.
The captain this whole time.
Oh, captain, my captain.
Bernard, Jake, and the captain. Okay.
Oh, yes. Captain, my captain.
Okay. So to the captain we go.
Like, I see you are back once again. Is there something I may help you with? Or are you here for some specific reasoning?
Anyway, like another job, please.
Preferably one that pays.
a paying job this time. I mean, not that we wouldn't have minded paying you for the pre-one before, but y'all didn't specifically request it.
We were supposed to ask?
I mean, we were doing it. We were doing it in the favor of justice. So,
yes,
If
Robin, in many cases you do have to ask, or people just assume you're being...
Yes, you get the guard,
Oh.
As you should be.
Yes.
As you should.
It is implied that if you wish for a monetary payment for actions that are completed and done, and in support of the guard, then it should be best to be straightforward. So you wish some monetary, like an actual payment this time, vice room and board.
The possum doesn't. Yeah, the possum doesn't speak up like that. He's kind of here just to do crime fighting.
The young lady has recently learned how currency works.
Ah, that is good to know. In these this region, monetary abilities do help influence how you are able to acquire certain items. So I guess I can see why you would need that. Let me, look through what I've got for y'all that would get you something somewhat decent to get you on your way. Of course, you will still be able to stay at the inn. Due to y'all did such a fantastic job with the mill and giving us such a thorough reports and exchange and your assistance. So he rifles through some papers, has a couple extra scrolls in his desk, and he's like,
The possum likes being told that he did a good job.
yeah, he's like looking around.
Possum has a praise kink.
A little bit. A little bit.
Fuck your chest a little bit more. Well, tis another job just outside, the walls itself of the city, if you don't mind venturing once more. But it would appear like some of the folks that are trying to stay near the Circle of Runes. The ones, the Rune Circle that we found you lots at. Actually, there's been some activity near there. Very disturbing over the last day or two that y'all have been here. We don't know. We are unsure as to what the uptick of such.
Are more people spawning out of it like we did?
Oh, the folks are going in and staying like normal when they have the approved charm that allows them into the space or into the grounds. But when they leave, there's always seems to be a couple things they just seem to bother them or waiting, and they have to rush into the city versus being able to just travel at their leisurely pace.
Am I assuming if we take this job, we will be issued such charms to perform a proper investigation?
You will, of course, have the proper charms to allow you into the safeguarded areas that we have established, but unfortunately, there really only is the one, other barring the city, of course, is the actual Rune Circle itself. There aren't too many charmed or warded areas in Roots. There's about probably midday's walk where folks usually stop for, to rest in between here and the Rune Circle.
So do we need to go to the Rune Circle?
It's still, around the Rune Circle is what so it's right around the Rune Circles where these folks are encountering the issues. We're not certain what has happened that seems to be attracting these encounters, so to speak.
What kind of issues? Are they being attacked or something?
It would seem
by animals?
One person reported being attacked by something. They were too. What's the word they used? Because they needed a medic upon immediate arrival. Don't know how they managed to make it to the city. But they were traumatized to recall the incident other than they were attacked. And this was about a day ago. And then another individual was reporting that they kept seeing shadowy figures that were stalking them. And then also one person reported a potential bear. We're not certain because no one else has mentioned any critters. Because normally there aren't bears that close to the city. You usually have to go farther than a day's travel to see any.
Can I do a nature or something check to get what the fuck he means by bear? Because out of character, I think you mean a werebear, and that's suspicious.
He just says bear. He says this person thinks that they said
It's a bear. Okay. So okay.
He doesn't even know. He just says, like, looking at
He's
his,
working
like,
from a
he's looking at his
secondhand report, so he doesn't know
yeah,
any
he's
better.
working. Yes.
Okay.
And it's like all the reports that we've gotten are someone was attacked, another person thinks they saw a bear, and then another person is reporting that they thought they got robbed, but then they found what they had later. So honestly, that one we're moderately dismissing to, mild mindfulness of their own person. But 3 reports from in between here and the Ruin Circle, most of them by the Ruin Circle. If y'all are interested, at least investigate or see if you see any activity out there that could attribute to this. We will give you some payments in return to helping investigate that far out.
If we do that, we get more of the coins?
Yes, you will get payment in addition to still staying at the Hatchling Inn.
How many coins?
Well, it is a day's travel. He kind of looks over.
That's the right question, isn't it?
We will be willing to give you 15 apiece.
Is that a lot? She's gonna kind of like look over at Savatorian for that one. Like, is that a lot?
It depends where you're at and what you're trying to do. I can tell you, generally speaking, 1 gold buys you a nice room with 2 meals on average in most inns.
Oh. Magical items, that's a laughable price. That's a lot.
Then we accept. Right?
Right. Well then, yes. So does the whole group?
Yeah.
The possum doesn't give a shit. He just wants to fight crime.
I see you're all in agreement. So he like hands over like a small map, sort of, and it's like, well, just for formality. Here's the map that basically tells you the path from which you entered the city is essentially where you're going to go back to.
Okay.
To check out what's going on, since you already have been to the area. Not that there was much activity at that time, minus working with my people. You should be able to find it fairly easily, and it's about a day's walk. So if you wish to leave soon or on the morrow, whichever works for you guys, just please report back as soon as you find or hear anything.
Okay. If possible, sounds fine to me.
Do we have enough time to go now?
Let's see. About now, you're getting towards. It's not midday. It's somewhere between midday and evening. It's like that weird, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 time frame. Not quite dinner, but past lunch.
It honestly would not occur to her to like not just go, because sleeping in the woods does not bother her in the ever-loving least.
I mean, your traveling compatriots are an orphan who grew up in alleyways and a 40-year-old man who thinks sleeping in dumpsters is just the tops.
It's the bee's knees, yeah.
So, like, I'm pretty sure the possum would also feel at home out in the wilderness, because it's, it
is more dirty than the cleanness of the clean city.
He can get him some mud cakes and just smash them around on himself.
I was thinking more like fern branches in a fucking big old pile.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Nice mossy blanket.
Yeah.
So Ravelwin will take the maps and say, thank you.
Alrighty.
And then she'll start heading out and just kind of look at the map and start going, looks like that way. Let's go.
We'll follow the person who I owe the life debt to.
And I guess we'll head to the first location we can.
Okay, so y'all are going to basically essentially leave the city. Like on your way out of the garrison, they hand you these little charm things about the size of your palm. You're able to tuck away into a pocket to allow you onto these the midway point safely and into the ruin circle should you need to go into there.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yes. So that way you don't deal with what you did last time.
We're official now, guys.
Oh, official and shit. So essentially y'all are gonna be able to make it outside of the city, but since it wasn't like quite a full days, you're not quite unless y'all keep deciding to walk, but you don't make it. It gets dark, so if y'all want to make camp,
I have dark
or if
vision.
y'all
It
want
doesn't
to
make
keep,
a difference to me.
yeah, what
I
y'all
do
want
not.
to do.
I am human. Human.
You're not quite to where that safeguard place that he was talking about, which he said was about a midday's travel, so like a few hours.
I say we make camp. Fearsome Possum will take.
She
first
would
watch.
keep walking until someone reminded her that other people can't quite see and need to actually stop.
Well, elves technically don't sleep; they trance. So
it really would not occur to her to stop unless someone directly says, "Hey, we're slow dumb humans. We need help here."
I mean, Sev basically has dark vision. There's 4 hours of light where he's from.
That's right. Yes, and the helmet helps him
in the daytime.
yeah. So Fearsome Possum is gonna want to go to bed, but he will take first watch.
Fearsome
Well, I mean,
As
are
we're
you communicating with the group about like?
Fearsome Possum is kind of tired because he's been up throughout the day, and normally he's awake in the nighttime.
No, his circadian rhythms are changing.
Yeah. So y'all kept him up all day, so he needs like sleep, but he's gonna volunteer for first watch.
As we're like setting up camp. So Possum, how often do you work with the guard, the officers of your city? Like directly, as we are now with this city.
Never directly. I kind of just catch them and leave a note, and they kind of find them later.
And the city is fine with this?
They never cause me any trouble. I never cause them any trouble. Sounds good to me.
Interesting.
Is your idea of justice different from your city's idea of justice?
Only in the case of fancy types.
Fancy types? Are they not your people?
No, the ones that commit crimes that are like not violent but still cause a lot of harm. I.e., like swindling people on goods. Like what we were discussing before, technically not a crime.
There's also the matter of, yes, it is wrong in many cases. Then there's also situations where the people in power will... I don't think there's any analogy for this word for where you're from, I would guess. It's called blackmail.
Eh?
They use either information or threat of violence to extract, most commonly, these metal coins, currency of the world.
To tell you the truth, it's usually less a threat of violence. It's usually a threat of not giving people metal coins that gets them away with it.
Then in many cases, there are those in power who do not perform a fair exchange of the currency.
I think bribery is the word. Yeah, that's the one.
There's bribery too, but there's a whole separate matter. I'm speaking of those with all the currency, ensuring that those with less currency continue to have less currency.
I think I understand this currency thing, but I don't understand why people would have more of it when everyone needs it.
When this is the object of trade, this is accepted throughout all the islands as the means of trade. The more you have of it, the more things that you can acquire. The more things that you acquire, the more powerful, for lack of a better term, you can become. Such was the case of my kingdom. The affluent seized all the means of power and used their currency to buy themselves their own police forces, their own special guards that would in turn use those guards to keep the workers in the mines down, to keep the common folk rabbling about in the mud, keep people like me living in the alley feasting on rats.
What's wrong with mud?
Nothing wrong with mud and rats. Nothing.
When all when all you have is mud and rats and everybody else seems to have much nicer things, the world begins to seem a little unfair. You're not getting your equal share.
We can agree on that. We can agree.
It sounds like the world is far from the way.
Many places are far from the way. My mentor, along with my brothers and I, we removed those in power. We established new government. The common folk welcomed our coming. And within 3 years' time, we had changed the government. We had altered the distribution of the currency. Crime was at an all-time low. People were fed. Nobody really went wanting.
But then it changed.
Yes. My mentor, our ruler, his name was Conrad, he left for 3 years. He left me in charge. I was his first son, his adopted son, and he thought me capable of maintaining the peace that he had established. I was woefully ill-equipped. Many of my brothers that had joined our forces later did not have the same respect for me that they had for our father. Soon, without the guiding hand of my father, we descended back into what we were, and I could not stop it by myself. When he returned,
betrayed you?
Some did.
That sounds awful.
When you grow up as I did, it's less a case of if it happens and more a case of when. The moment our father left, I knew that things were going to be bad. I just didn't realize how bad it was going to become.
Maybe if we could bring the way to the world, there wouldn't be so much pain.
The problem with the way, as you call it, for your people, the problem with how my father handled the city, the problem with how the possum handles his city. What happens when there are people who, in great numbers, can stop what you're trying to do, can thwart the way, or in the case of the possum, without the possum, who's getting these criminals that the guards can't get right now?
But why would you?
Because
why would you not see the truth?
Many people don't wish to see truth. They wish to see what they want to see.
Yes.
And not all people are quite as innocent and wholesome as you.
Oh. She isn't quite sure what to make of that. Like the words sound good, but she's not quite sure the context is.
The possum undercuts this and he's like, hey, tell you the truth, other than the fucking capital punishment shit you told me about, your cult sounds way better than most society.
It's just that's the only punishment. Once you go against the way, there's no way to come back.
Yeah, that sounds a little sketch, but other than that, it sounds pretty dope.
I feel as though the problem with the way, as you call it, your people's belief, is it seems to work much better in a smaller scale. Those of us out here living in our own islands that have had our own ways of growing up, many of them won't see things the way you see them. They will likely act in hostility toward it.
I don't understand why the truth wouldn't simply be the truth.
There's a very old saying that I believe transcends the islands and possibly even the very universe itself. The truth hurts, and people don't like to hurt.
But they hurt themselves trying to avoid the truth. How does that help anyone?
Because they don't feel that hurt. They don't notice that.
Facts.
So we were doing a job. We're on the way to the job.
Y'all are at a campfire. Y'all set up camp. Then y'all start
Yeah, we're
having
at the
this
camp.
discussion. So are you guys
The
going to set
Possum-
up
campsite
watches?
conversation.
Part of me's
Possum is
like,
gonna-
part of me
Possum
looks
is
over
gonna-
at Sync and I'm like, there's this moment I'm looking at her face and I'm like, I wonder if she's sitting here thinking like, I'm woefully ill-equipped for this philosophical conversation. I am Darkwing Duck.
I am Darkwing Duck. Yeah, well, basically he was like, you're making a bunch of like weird shit going on, and what she's talking about with the cult sounds pretty good compared to what you're talking about, because like you're talking about our world, and our world is gray and shit, and people get away with crap that they shouldn't. Other than the capital punishment thing, her shit's not sound so bad. Like, I'm not chill with that. I'm not chill with the capital punishment thing. But like, yeah, Possum's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. And he just sulks off into his little. He takes that sack you gave him of alcohol cores and shit. He dumps it on the ground, and then he makes a little pile and he goes to sleep.
Good night, Possum.
Didn't he say he was going to take first watch?
But he's changed his mind now because we were having a
I've changed my
philosophical
mind.
discussion.
You guys are going on, so you might as well stay up while I go to sleep.
I will take first watch. I'm not sure how your people tend to rest.
Well,
They have to trance, otherwise they do get exhausted.
I know out of game what they do, Sync.
Well,
he's asking him or her. He's asking her.
I don't do that. And she just kind of points at the possum.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate side effect of our people. We require 6 to 8 hours of inactivity. It's terribly inefficient.
8 hours is way
so
too much. 8 hours is way too much. I function fine on 5.
I thought you were sleeping.
He goes back to sleep.
Yeah, sleep. Quote unquote.
How much time do you require to feel rested and recharge whatever it is?
The possum picks up again. 5 hours!
Just a few hours.
Alright, I shall remain vigilant over our campsite while you get that, and then you can watch over us as we rest. That is a watch rotation. It is ensuring the safety of the pack, if you will.
Okay, I can do that. Yes.
And I will take first watch.
Alrighty then. Well, on that note, we can tap things there. That way,
do our actual job next time.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can continue on. So it was mainly just establishing, a few things and getting through and letting you either do a job or explore. But y'all got to do a bit of both this time, which actually kind of worked out.
No more Jake. Sammy's back. Yay!
I like Savatarian, but at the same time, Jake from Estate Farm was too good.
You liked the joke, Jake from Estate Farm. I was not actually. I was an NPC. If I were to continue playing that character, I was just going to be cardboard.
I love Jake from Estate Farm.
You like the joke, Jake from Estate Farm.
The inside joke. Yes.
I low-key hated it, but...
I love Jake from Estate Farm.
If you'd said that when I suggested it, I wouldn't have used it. I'm sorry.
No,
I love Jake from Estate Farm. It was a great joke.
It was less the name and more that the character was nothing.
I loved him.
He had no background. He had no future.
He was a warrior. He was a warrior in khakis and a red shirt. I know you said he had other shit on, but no, he was a warrior in khakis and a red shirt.
And that is precisely why he's gone.
Because he had nothing beyond that one joke, and that's really not something to base a character on.
That is
for a random plug.
Dude, what do you mean? I based this entire character off a neurotic Darkwing Duck. That is one joke. You're welcome.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, yes, we will cap that for this evening there.
Okie doke. I'm gonna go play games with Erica and Travis. If anybody is staying up, they're willing to join.
Probably not going to stay up
let my
that
cellular
late.
device
I don't know.
because it apparently is about to die on me anyway.
Okie doke.
So
I have to start trying to actually sleep at night, which is
All right.
weird.
We'll go to bed. I'm gonna.
And that ends, I believe, the 3rd or 4th session for us. Kind of hard to explain what's going on. I have Darkwing Duck that has no actual personality.